What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? JamiroFan 2000 here with yet another episode of JamiroFan Talks About for the initiated of the series here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel of nearly 9 years. This has been my recurring discussion series looking at the past, present, and future of Jamiroquai. They're now over 32 years of musical and influential making, and now I thought a new episode of JamiroFan Talks About was justified, given the high amount of new videos that have been coming out of the respective official Jamiroquai HQ social media, and of course some of the respective band members of Jamiroquai's Instagram accounts, or should I say social media accounts, with them in the studio over the last year and a half recording Jamiroquai Album 9, which right now I'm still running with the speculative title for this album of their upcoming tour, which will probably companion the first single release from that said new album called Heels of Steel. But I thought I'd do an episode of JamiroFan Talks About to highlight some of the major snippets that we've so far seen on those respective Jamiroquai band member and of course official Jamiroquai social media accounts of some of the new music we've been hearing from those sessions. And this album musically is somewhere between George Benson to Herb Alpert on musical influences. But I thought I'd highlight some of the five major snippet videos that we so far seen on those Instagram accounts here on this episode of JamiroFan Talks About. And we start off with the first snippet, which did feature a little bit of chorus from one of the new songs in the Ninth Jamiroquai album. That was posted by Matt Johnson on his respective Instagram account back in October of 2024, of Matt Johnson starting out on a keyboard playing a melody of said new song, but with a small little second-long snippet of its actual chorus. And here's that clip right now. And in the second major snippet that we've so far seen video-wise from the respective social media accounts of Jamiroquai HQ and their band members, in the month of March of 2025, we had maybe not so much playback of a new Jamiroquai song, but we did have a short video of Derek McKenzie on his headset at Chillington recording his drum licks for one of the respective new Jamiroquai songs, and here is that clip in question right now. Then in the third highlight video clip of snippets we have gotten, or little previews of the new set material from the prospective 9th Jamiroquai album. Back in the month of April of 2025, we got one of the most exciting videos to come out of Chillington from the Jamiroquai HQ official Instagram account, like I said, in April 2025, of the horn section, 2 to 4 musicians strong, coming back with no actual playback of new Jamiroquai music, but we did get 2 different angles of them in Chillington studio of the brass section laying down their brass lines for the new Jamiroquai material. And here's here's that video in question right now.
See? No expense spared for this album. No expense spared.
Then in a fourth major highlight snippet of Jamiroquai's 9th album recording sessions in June of 2025, we got a really exciting video of JK, him in Chillington studio with Rob Harris in the background doing some killer guitar solos to the second only nearly full playback of a new Jamiroquai song from that 9th Jamiroquai album, of him playing amazing guitar solos to a backing bass and a backing drum line of one of the new 9th Jamiroquai album songs. And here is that video clip in question right now.
We're working on it, you know? I know you're impatient, man, but we're working on it, you know what I mean? We're working on it. It's coming, it's coming. You know? It's coming. Don't worry. It's all under control.
And lastly, in one of the most exciting videos to come out of new ninth album material snippet, we got in July of 2025, here in the middle of the month, we got JK at the studio board, and this is probably one of the most interesting videos of any album recording or mixing we have ever seen with JK. We got JK doing, at the beginning of this clip, doing a sample of an Herb Alpert song called Rise. Now, many people here in the United States, or at least in Europe, would know that Herb Alpert's song Rise was actually sampled by one of the most important hip-hop artists of the early 2000s. Of course, I'm talking about the Notorious B.I.G. on his song Hypnotize. Well, that guitar sample was used in that song Hypnotize in its sample. And here at the beginning of this clip of JK at the studio board mixing one of the new ninth Jamiroquai album songs, we do hear that sample of that classic Earl Alpert trumpet track Rise at the beginning of that. Now, mind you, it isn't the full song being used in this sampling, but you do hear that point, that major point of that sample being, or at least of that song being used. And that, if you're wondering about the clip in Rise where that actual sample is, it is at 3 minutes and 13 seconds of that song by Herb Alpert. But like I said, the rest of this montage of Jay in the studio is him kind of working out the song's composition and melody in his head. But you do hear little snippets of the full playback of that song in the background. And here is that fifth and final snippet clip from the Jamiroquai HQ social media right now.
Come on, cousin. Ding, ding, ding. So what's the difference in all those low ones, and they're all separate tracks, are they?
Yeah. So we go up. The original one was higher.
And that's it. That is all of the major highlight snippets of videos that we have gotten from some of the band members of Jamiroquai and the Jamiroquai HQ official social media in regards to the recording process of Jamiroquai Album 9. Like I said, I have been releasing infographics nearly monthly since the beginning of this year, so be sure to check out my most recent July 10th infographic update of all the latest known new factoids, confirmed and unconfirmed, for Jamiroquai Album 9 under still the speculative title of Heels of Steel. I'm calling it that. It has not been confirmed, so please don't run with that in your social media. But like I said, check out that July 10th update of that infographic. That is currently available on my social media, and I'll be sure to put a link to that as well down in this episode JamiroFan Talks About down below. And I've been keeping that updated to a T, so be expecting future updates of Jamiroquai Album 9 of that infographic very, very soon. But I do hope you enjoyed this episode of JamiroFan Talks About, looking back on those major musical, instrumental, and of course playback highlights of Jamiroquai Album 9 that they have so far shared on the social media. And I think I speak to everybody in the Jami. I send a big thank you to Jamiroquai's management, the band members of Jamiroquai, and of course JK himself for these major, interesting glimpses into the creative process of Jamiroquai Album 9. And I'm sure it's going to come to some fruition by the end of this year, in winter and fall of 2025, with hopefully a first single release maybe this year, and then the full album release hopefully in the first quarter of 2025, which I do go into greater detail about on my JamiroFan Talks About episode coming up this week of July 14th of 2025, where I go into every factoid of that. So keep your eyes out for that new video coming the week of July 14th here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. Thank you again all for the support. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe and ding the bell on your YouTube to stay up to date on all the latest new content coming from the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Like I always do, as my mission statement is, I will fully endeavor and keep bringing you all the latest news about the band members and the band Jamiroquai as we go into this, as we continue into the summer of 2025. But as always, this is JamiroFan 2000. I'll see you again really soon with more Jamiroquai related content here on the JamiroFan 2000 YouTube channel. Bye bye everybody, take care, thank you again for the support, and I'll see you around.